we're going to explain how to remove spaces from an Excel cell. There are several ways to do this depending on what kind of spaces you want to remove. Leading spaces at the beginning of the text, trailing spaces at the end, or spaces within the text. 1. Using the trim function. This is the easiest way to remove leading and trailing spaces. The trim function leaves only single spaces between words. To use it, type eshko trim A1 in an empty cell, replacing A1 with the cell containing the text you want to clean. This formula will copy the contents of cell A1 into the current cell, removing any leading or trailing spaces. You can then copy this formula down to other rows to clean all your cells. 2. Using the substitute function for removing specific spaces. If you need to remove specific spaces within the text, the substitute function is your tool. Let's say you want to remove all double spaces. You'd type substitute A1 in a new cell. This replaces all occurrences of two spaces with a single space. You can chain multiple substitute functions together to remove various types of unwanted spaces. For example, substitute A1, char 160, would first remove double spaces and then remove non-breaking spaces, character code 160, which are often invisible. 3. Using the clean function for removing non-printing characters. Sometimes Excel cells contain invisible characters that show up as extra spaces. The clean function removes these. Use the formula clean A1 in a new cell. This formula cleans up these non-printing characters, which might otherwise look like extra spaces. Combine clean with trim for the most thorough cleaning. Trim clean A1. This will first clean the invisible characters and then trim the leading and trailing spaces. 4. Using find and replace for manual removal. For a quick manual removal of spaces, use the find and replace function. Press Ctrl+H or CMD+H on a Mac. In the Find What box, type a single space and leave the Replace With box empty. Click Replace All. This will remove all spaces in the selected cells, but be careful as this removes all spaces, including those between words. Use this method with caution and consider using trim or substitute instead for more control. 5. Using Power Query for large datasets. For very large datasets, Power Query, also known as Get and Transform, offers efficient ways to handle this. Within Power Query, you can use the Replace Values function to remove spaces in a more controlled manner and transform large amounts of data very quickly. Remember to always back up your data before making any significant changes. After applying any of these methods, copy the cleaned data from the new cells and paste it as values over your original data to keep the changes permanent. This will overwrite the original cells with the cleaned results. Choose the method that best suits your needs and the type of spaces you're trying to remove from your Excel